right, hello. Welcome to the Yarn Cave Dyeworks podcast. My name is Jessica Wynn. I am a knitter, crocheter, and quilting podcast, as well as I dye yarn and am the owner of Yarn Cave Dyeworks. So this podcast is kind of struggling today because I can't get my microphone to work. I think there's background noise in the microphone that I can't get rid of. So if you can hear that, I'm really sorry. Also, I got rid of the squeaking rocking chair, so I put a robe back here so my rocking chair can't move and there won't be any squeaking in this podcast. I'm really sorry about that. It's always something with the sound. If you have any recommendations for better microphones, let me know because the previous podcast, it's hard to hear me. I'm trying to use microphones and they have buzzing. It's just way more complicated than I anticipated. So I think I said my name is Jessica. And today I have a finished object to show you. I have a finished quilt top to show you. I have new works in progress to talk about. As for social media, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram as Yarn Cave Dyeworks. I have a Ravelry page, Jessica Wynn M. All of that information will be in the description box. So thank you so much for joining me. I know there are a lot of different podcasts out there, and I know mine is kind of on the shorter side. So where do I want to begin? So much has happened in the past 2 weeks. One, I got married. I'm definitely going to include some pictures from that. I haven't gotten the official pictures back, but we have some pictures that everyone else took while they were at our ceremony and reception. And I also participated in my first fiber festival where I vended and sold my yarn. I did really well, and I can't believe it. I'm shocked that people wanted to buy my yarn. I'm so hard on myself, and I just don't understand why anyone would want to buy my yarn. Like, you look at everyone else's yarn and you think it's so amazing, and just why would they pick my yarn to buy? So thank you so much for buying my yarn. I really, appreciate it, but I just am also in shock, and just thank you for choosing my yarn. I really do work really hard to try to create something that I love and that I think other people would love. But yeah, we just tend to be our worst critics. So yes, I will post a picture of my booth at the end of the podcast, and I will, so let's just move on. Let's talk about my finished object. So you guys know that I have been working on the Printer's Alley shawl for my mom, and I was making this for the wedding as a gift for her. I did not end up giving her this gift because I was blocking it and I wanted it to be completely done before I presented it to her. So again, this is the Printer's Alley shawl by Joe Strong. I use Camilla Fiber Co. The pink color is Camilla and the white is Moonflower. I really love this pattern because it's a super potato chip knit, but you also get that interest with the eyelet rows. It turned out really big. I did not follow the pattern completely. I think the finished product ended with less stitches, and I just kind of knitted the garter blocks until I felt like they were proportionate with everything else, and then I would do the eyelet rows. So all in all, I had over 330 stitches on my needles before I bind it off. So really happy to have this done. Really excited to give it to my mom. I can't believe that I worked so hard to get it done before the wedding and I still did not give it to her, even though it was done. I just wanted it to be blocked because there's just something special about a blocked shawl because it just stretches out and becomes this beautiful big thing. Whereas right after you get done knitting a shawl, it's kind of still squishy, but there's room for it to grow, and there's nothing better than a big shawl. All right, and should I go ahead and talk about the quilting or should I wait? I'll go ahead and talk about it because it's kind of small. This is my quilt top that I had done for our wedding. I wanted our guest to sign it. Can you see it? Spells out love. And so the whole idea was to sew a quilt top, and then have all of our guests sign it like it were a guest book. So as you can see, there are signatures, and all I have to do now is put the sashing around it, and then put the batting and background, and then quilt it together. So there's still some work to be done, but the quilt top is done. I found this pattern on Pinterest. I could not find the actual pattern, so I just copied the picture. So this is not my pattern. I just mimicked a picture that I saw because I couldn't find the pattern. All right, so we'll go straight into works in progress. I started 2 new projects, and the first one is this shawl. This is called the Celtic Forest shawl, and this is by someone named Simone Barga. I found this pattern on Etsy. It has these beautiful cables all throughout the bottom part of the shawl. This is a paid-for pattern. I don't know if you can see the cables. I want you to see them. They're so pretty. And there's a second cable that's starting right here. The pattern is very involved. I'm really enjoying knitting it, but it is very involved and requires paying attention. But as long as you can read your knitting, you should be fine. This is being knit with earth yarn. Where is the... I just had it. Of course I would lose it. The tag! Where is the tag? Let me see here. Oh, tag! Where are you? Aha! This is being knitted with Harvest Worsted Earth. And this is their colorway Cinnamon. This is 100% extra fine super wash merino. So I assume this shawl is going to grow even more after I'm done. I absolutely fell in love with this yarn when I saw it. I'm going to need another. Here it is. Okay. Sorry if it's really loud. So I think I'm on row, like in between like the 50th row. So yeah, I'm very happy about this. I love the color. It's a fun knit to sit on the couch with. Now my second new work in progress is in the basket. Why did I put it up here? This is, I gotta get it. I can get it. Now it's all tangled up. All right, here it is. I cast it on a pair of socks. Now, typically when I knit socks, I do a vanilla sock with the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I don't completely love the way the Fish Lips Kiss heel fits. I think it's kind of narrow, especially for people with wider feet. I'm sure there's a way to adjust it, but the pattern is so long and lengthy that I just go straight to like the part where the actual pattern is, and just I haven't read all the other stuff. So I decided to try this pattern that I had seen on Etsy. I think it's called the Magic Heel Sock, and I had the name of the author, but now I have no idea where it is. Is that it? I don't know. I will post the information in the description box. Hey, Steve, my bunny is trying to eat yarn. Hey, Steve, you cannot eat my yarn. He has just been getting into stuff lately. So this is the Magic Heel Sock, and essentially instead of building a structured heel, you're just knitting ribbing in a tube, and then you'll be doing your toe at the end. So it's like a literal tube sock. You know, it's fine, and I'm going to finish it. I'm going to knit the second one, but I don't know if I love it because I miss the fun part of knitting a sock, which is knitting that structured heel. And the heel is what really makes a sock look like a sock. That's when it starts to take shape. So when you just have this ribbing in a tube, it doesn't look like a sock. I mean, someone would think this was just a sleeve for a sweater. So it is, you are kind of missing that fun part of the knitting process in socks. But if you're not sure, I saw someone say if you're not sure what the size of the individual's foot is that you're knitting for, this is good to kind of guesstimate. So you have some wiggle room for, sizes. I am using Dream in Color. It's a pop-up club, but I got it at a local yarn store. This is Venice in Autumn. It's a smushy cashmere fingering weight, superwash merino, 20% cashmere and 10% nylon. This is the cake. It's really pretty. I'm knitting these for my sister. She absolutely loves hand-tied socks. So this is a close-up of the heel. And this is a paid-for pattern. You can see the ribbing. All right. So that is all of my knitting right now. All of my works in progress, all the things that I finished. I'm super happy to have the shawl finished and to have something to show you guys. Really enjoyed that pattern. So what else do I want to talk about since we're done with that? I will say that our wedding was a huge success. It was beautiful, and thank you to anyone who actually watches this and has gone to our wedding. Thank you for coming, and it was great. Let's see, it was a beautiful day. It was not cold. I mean, the past week it had been pretty cold, and I told Daniel we have to rent heaters. And then the day of our wedding, it was just the perfect temperature, and there was no rain, and it was just a really beautiful day. So we got really, really blessed, and I'm glad it's over though, because it was such a process. Planning a wedding is way more stressful than I thought, and Daniel kept saying, "You don't want to put," because I wanted to make our cake. I was going to make pumpkin rolls, and he kept saying, "You're not going to want to do that. You're going to have so much to do." And I was like, "No, I won't." Well, I'm glad I listened to him, and we had one of his friends make our cake because I was really stressed out. But I'm happy, and I'm glad it's done because I'm ready for our life to calm down again. So, like I said, I participated in my first fiber festival 2 days ago, and it was a huge success. I just can't believe people wanted to buy my yarn and thought it was pretty. I just can't believe it, and I just thank you so much. And I think we're our worst critic. I think I already said that earlier in this podcast. I can't even remember. I'm just so, But we are planning on attending more fiber festivals. I'm already dyeing more yarn, and it's just really exciting. And thank you for your support. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I always think of things after I end it, and then I wish I would have said it. So let me think. I don't think so. These podcasts are always really short in comparison to everyone else's. I'm not a very talky person, but I want to be. I just love talking to people, especially other crafters, but then it's just I'm a huge introvert. So thank you for watching the podcast. Thank you for supporting my yarn, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!